Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh kepada semua. Sebelum kami memulakan perbincangan kami pada hari ini, izinkan kami untuk menggunakan bahasa Inggeris kerana semua ilmu dan maklumat yang ingin kami sampaikan adalah dalam bahasa Inggeris. So, once again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening to all of you. And this is our NPDL Showcase. So, before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Iman bin Mazlan, and this is my group mates, Nasrul Hakim bin Muhammad Noor and Danieal Hakim bin Muhammad Nizam.
So, before we go deeper into the presentation, I will brief shortly about what we will presenting in our slide. So, first of all, we'll talk about introduction to both courses, which is multiliteracies and multicultural literature, which include the collaboration task of both courses. Second, we will talk about the big idea, which are the relation between both courses, and the third one, our experience when doing the task, about the skill and the challenges. And the last one are the elements of CC that we use in our assignment task. So let's continue. So moving on to the introduction of both courses, the first one is the multiliteracies. So it is the concept of understanding information and the design of meaning through the manipulation of individual modes. In simple words, in multiliteracies, we learn about understanding different types of multimodal text, such as posters, videos, pictures, digital resources, and others. We are able to interpret the deeper meaning or message of a multimodal text. So the second one is multicultural literature. So in multicultural literature, we learn to analyze the cultural issues in the literature, or we call as creative writing, such as novels and short stories. We also learn to analyze the multicultural issues in different perspectives, which are from Asian and Western perspectives.
And now we have course collaboration. So course collaboration is the collaboration between two different courses, and in this case we have multiliteracies, and another one we have multicultural literature. If we look closely in the task 2 of multiliteracies, we as students should be able to orally present the analysis on multiculturalism from multiple perspectives through a multimodal media in groups. Meanwhile, in multicultural literature task 3, based on the multimodal media chosen in the multiliteracies courses, we as a student should be able to orally present a multimedia on elements in multiculturalism in groups. So basically, both of these courses use the same presentation to assess the student, but as a student, we need to know which part of the courses that we need to emphasize. For instance, in a poster we have chosen, maybe on multiliteracy side, we will presenting about the technique used by the author. But for multicultural literature, we will be presenting about the multicultural elements incorporated by the author.
Okay, now we move on to the next part, which is the big idea. The big idea for these two courses is on the understanding gender equality in multicultural society from global context. As we can see here, TSLB 3203 Multicultural Literature and TSLB 3193 Multiliteracies have a common big idea, which is understanding the global context of multiculturalism in our multicultural society. Okay, we focus the big idea into one of the multiculturalism elements, which is gender equality. In our coursework, we have analyzed and understand the gender equality issues in multicultural society from global context. Both of the courses helps us to analyze and build up the understanding that we represent in our coursework for both courses. Now we move on to the next slide, which is essential questions. From the courses, there are three main questions that have to be answered to show our understanding on the big idea of the courses. The first question, which is why do we need to understand multiculturalism in our multicultural society? So, understanding multiculturalism in our multicultural society is very important because it helps the society to understand the nature of the issue that lurking in their society. In our coursework, the understanding on multiculturalism elements, specifically gender equality, help us to understand the true nature of the issue and how serious the issue is in our multicultural society and global communities. The second question is how to ensure that the new understanding on multiculturalism is not taken from the context of Western liberal democratic society. So, the interaction process between students will develop their understanding on multiculturalism. For our coursework, the collaboration between two courses help us to understand the concept of multiculturalism. Besides, we usually will discuss on the issue to help us more understand on gender equality. So, the last question is how can we global yet local with our understanding of multiculturalism? Basically, with our knowledge on the understanding of the issue on multiculturalism, we can compare and contrast locally, which means that we can analyze and understand the issue in Asian perspective and global perspective.
Now, I would like to share some of our experience when doing this coursework. Truth to be told, it is quite challenging for us to understand the question itself, but at the same time, it is quite interesting. And here, I also included some of our pictures when doing the presentation. As you can see, all of us already chose the multimodal text that I would like to present. Danieal with the video advertisement, I with the image advertisement, and Hakim with the poster. And for our task, I will brief a little bit about it. For instance, the poster by Hakim, right, will be presenting about the multiliteracy perspective first. So, for multiliteracies, we will be looking at the technique used by the author. For instance, why the background of the poster is so dark. In contrast, why the dress of the woman is so vibrant. And for the multicultural literature, we'll be more focusing on the multicultural element itself. For instance, the message that the author wanted to convey. So here we could see the image of hand dominating the image of the woman. So what is the author trying to imply here? It is about the woman oppression. So it is all our job to analyze all these little bit factor in the image used. And here, for our learning partner, we are lucky enough to have Madam Zila as our learning partner. It is our pleasure to have her as our learning partner because she offers a lot of advice As you can already see in this WhatsApp, this is our final product based on all of her advice and ideas. We also have classmate review. If you look closely, our presentation, we do it twice. For our first presentation, after we do it, we'll be giving at Madam Zila and have our friends to review our product, and after they reviewed our product, we'll be presenting it again based on the advice or tips that they already suggest to us.
When doing the collaboration task, there are several skills that we have learned in the assignment task. So the first one is the searching skills. We acquire the skill to search information about multicultural issues using Google platform. And then, after we found the information, we analyze it. We analyze the cultural issues in the multimodal test. For our work, we choose women's right and freedom as the issues. And then, we make a slides using Microsoft PowerPoint with some animation that will make the presentation more attractive. After that, we present the slides using Google Meet application and edit it with Filmora to make the presentation more attractive and tidy. So what are the challenges that we face when doing the assignment task? So the first one is understanding the instruction. So we have the problem in understanding the instruction, even because we are not used to a task that have the combination between two courses. So the keywords in the instruction will be more complicated. And then we have problem in finding appropriate materials for our task because there are less texts about our issues, which is women's right and freedom, and most of the poster and video did not talk about women's right and freedom. So our third problem is unstable internet connection. Most of our tasks require fast internet connection in order to complete it. So bad internet connection really affects some of the applications such as Google Meet that we use as presentation tools.
Now we move on to the last part of this presentation, which is elements of 6C. The elements of 6C that we have encountered in the collaboration of these two courses are critical thinking, which we implement when we were brainstorming on the idea of gender equality. Basically, critical thinking being implemented on the first process of doing our coursework, which is planning and brainstorming. The next one, which is creativity, that we can see on how we understand the motive of symbols and the delivery on the issue of gender equality. The next one, which is communication. Communication, we can see when we were communicating verbally through Google Meet to discuss on the coursework and planning the outlining the project and outlining the project. The last one is citizenship. We can see citizenship when we collaborate with our classmates to comment on each other and ask for our lecturer opinion. This is also considered as learning partner initiative.
I think that's all for our presentation today. We would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to present here. If you have any question or inquiries, feel free to ask us, and inshallah we will try our best to answer all the questions and give the answer that will satisfy your curiosity. So thank you once again. Goodbye.